Hello, dear listeners. You are listening to AUM Web Radio. Here is Denisa and Andrei.
Hello.
And we have here with us our dear, beautiful, gorgeous, Brazilian-born, Portuguese-raised Malu.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for that
Hi,
intro.
Malu. Welcome back to Sighișoara.
Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure for me to meet you, you know?
Yes.
You are
Andrei
like a celebrity here.
Heard the legends, yes.
The legends.
To give our listeners a little bit of context, Malu is one of our ex-senior volunteers, so to say, which means that she came here for a project and then stayed for another one and then another one.
Another one.
Yeah.
And now she's back to support this project, even if she's not part of this project.
Yeah. It's a phenomenon that happens here at AUM sometimes. Sighișoara just charms people that way, I guess.
It's beautiful.
But she can tell us more about it. So, Malu,
No pressure.
tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
So as you said it yourself, I was born in Brazil. I was raised in Portugal. I'm 21. When I came to Sighișoara, I was 19. The time passes. And I don't know.
Are you studying something right now?
I started my degree in international relations now.
In Portugal?
Yeah, in Portugal.
Mm-hmm. And when you came to Sighișoara, you were 19, so right after high school?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You took a gap year?
Yes, I took a gap year, and actually thanks to COVID.
Thanks to COVID?
Yeah, I managed to stay longer here because I did my first year of uni classes online.
Okay.
And I was studying at night. So I was actually doing the studies at night and doing the volunteering during the day.
So you were also a student and a volunteer?
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Full-time job.
Okay. So let me ask you next, what you did at AUM, or how did your journey with Asociația AUM and Sighișoara begin? How did you find us?
How did I find you? Okay, so actually I heard about the ESC from a friend that was in Turkey for a couple of months.
ESC is European Solidarity Corps, a program by the European Commission.
And I opened the website, and the first project I saw was in Romania. And I thought to myself, what do I know about Romania? Nothing. So I'm going there. I actually didn't do a lot of research or anything. I didn't know where the city was, like in the map and so on. I just came.
It was the feeling. Yeah.
It was a sign from the universe.
It was.
So Malu is good on listening her intuition.
And it worked.
It worked really well.
Yeah. Okay, so you found us by chance. You listened to your intuition, and there you were. And what did you do? What project were you on?
I came here in theory for 2 months for a project called Love is the Answer, about nutrition, hygiene, mental health, but focused on sexual education. And after 2 weeks here, I just knocked on Ada's and Floris, our coordinator's door, and I said, I don't know how, but I'm staying. 2 months, it's not enough. I'm staying. I love working here. And actually, in that first project, I got involved in a lot of different things. I got involved like in kindergarten about like ecology and stuff. I got involved in the workshops about the topics that I mentioned before. I was also like giving English classes to the elderly in the late afternoon. Yeah. And just like Christmas things. So it was a lot of fun and a lot of work, but good work.
Sweet. So that was a 2 months short term, we call them, short term project. And then what followed?
It followed the long term. That was the continuation of the short term, actually. It was called Love is the Answer, but long. And that time it wasn't focused in the hygiene nor nutrition. It was just like the sexual health part, and we had like a lot of workshops given to us by people that were actually like specialists on sexual education. And in theory, after those workshops, we were supposed to go to school, but then COVID. But it was funny because we finally had them all ready, all the workshops, and the day that we were supposed to start going to schools was the day that they were like, nope. Not anymore.
Ouch.
Yeah. And so we thought it was just for 2 weeks. So we were kind of chilling and waiting for the 2 weeks to pass. But then when we realized that it wasn't going to pass, we had to adjust.
Adapt.
Yeah, and just find another way to also share what we've learned. So we actually wrote a book. Yeah, like kind of a diary with information, but also like activities about like introspection and yeah. And the book turned out actually really good, and I was really proud of it in the end. And big, like it was.
It's a book.
Yeah.
It's a book. It's not, it's not a.
And I agree, it was really good. We use it a lot in the previous project where me and Denisa, we were like also preparing some videos for the kids that are in the high school.
Andre is talking about Love Actually long-term project.
Yes.
Where we were using a lot of information from your book, actually, because it's really well documented. It's the information is adapted to the age of the target group, like for high schoolers.
Yeah.
It's a really good book.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's a great legacy.
Yeah.
And it's so nice because, I mean, I don't know, there is like a lot of information but the way how you put the information in there is like super easy to understand, and it's like very user-friendly, let's say.
Yeah,
Thank
it's like on the language of, it really feels like peer-to-peer
Yeah.
education.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
Okay, did you had other kind of volunteering experience before?
Before coming to Romania?
Yeah, before coming to Romania.
I did back home. I used to go to a school that there was a couple of kids that were from different countries, and like just 2 or 3, and I helped them like get inside of the, like, I don't know how to explain actually, sorry for this long.
With your own words.
Yes, it's like
So it was a school
Yeah, it was a
With
school.
with
Kids?
international kids.
It was like a normal school
Okay.
with kids that are from Portugal, but they accepted like 3 kids that were not from Portugal, and the kids were like super small. They were like 4 or 5, and they didn't know how to
Okay.
speak, and they were really left out. And so I was
So integration sort of.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I also did those like volunteering, cleaning the streets, and like in Portugal we have a lot of sand mountains. I don't know how to call them. It's
Okay.
dunas in
yeah,
Portuguese.
yeah.
And there's a lot of like there's this type of thingy that grows there, and it's really bad for the environment. So we just like spend days just ripping them off, and yeah, and also went to an elderly people's place to spend time with them.
So you really have experience with volunteering also before and after coming in Romania. So what's volunteering for you, like in general? What does it mean?
It's gonna sound cheesy, but it's giving and receiving, like not quoting High School Musical, but we're all in this together, and and I just think that the more we give, the better we leave something behind. People will do the same. So like if you spread something good, then it will multiply. And volunteering for me, it's that. It's just like when I can, I'll give you what I can, and then when you can, you will give it to somebody else, and it's like full-on cycle of good things.
That's a nice way to say it, like giving to somebody, not to receive from that person back, but to receive from somebody else. It's like it's not giving something to somebody and back from the same person. It's like a circle.
Maybe it's the other way around. Like you receive something good and you're grateful for what you received.
Yeah.
So you have to pay it forward,
So not giving and receiving, but receiving and giving.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. What did you gain from living abroad?
So much.
Because I don't know, before coming here in Romania, you were living abroad in other places?
I mean, I've always been abroad. I was born in Brazil and I lived in Portugal, and like I was always like, until I was 10, I was jumping from one country to the other like 2 times a year. So, you know, I don't really feel like I have some physical home, but like an emotional home, and it's everywhere. That's why, I don't know, it's always...
No.
Yeah.
So basically, you just keep on going home. Wherever you go, you go home.
Yeah.
Where are you, Malu? I'm home. Which home? Sighișoara home, Portugal home.
So yes, just so you cannot talk about this because you never left home.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Adorable. Okay. Moving on. What would you say that you learned as a volunteer? Talking now explicitly about your ESC experience.
But what I've learned professionally or in general?
Both. Either.
So much. I mean, it was 1 year and 2 months. I can talk for 1 year and 2 months, you know. But I learned a lot. But I think the thing that I really changed my way of thinking was that you don't have to make a big difference to make a difference. For me, like, that was something that I was really sure, like, if you are doing something, you need to do it big, and you need to do it big. And after being here, I realized, like, the butterfly effect, it's so true, you know, just a small thing, the chain of reactions. So I think my biggest learning here was just, like, do it small, do it big, do it what you can, but do something, you know, and it's gonna turn out into something beautiful.
It's so funny because I also learned that in the last year. Okay. And would you recommend ESC?
Definitely.
And why?
Because of all, I mean, I think ESC is one of the most complete experiences ever, because you learn professionally, you learn personally, you learn socially, you know, like you have the work, and then you have to think on yourself, and then but you also have parties. I mean, I don't know if I can, you know. And you just learn so much from each small aspect, you know what I mean? And you have the work and you have the fun, and you also have the family, because it becomes a family in like 2 days. It's ridiculous. So I think that's why, because it's really complete and you just evolve in every aspect. And I think everyone should just at least do a short term and be abroad for a bit.
I was thinking now, this experience is like a short trial for life, you know?
Yeah.
Before the life is starting, you should have a trial, like this is the
But
trial.
it's like a very intensive trial.
It depends sometimes, you know? Like, I think it's more intense in short projects, but in long terms, it can be not that intense.
Yeah.
I mean...
But in short-term projects, I feel like there's this bubble that gets created, you know, the bubble of everything that you have in it, as you said before, and it's very tightly connected and packed, like the schedule, the work, the people, the fun, the community.
I can see that more in the long project. I think in the short are like a lot of small bubbles together, you know, like.
And then in the long they merge and they make one big bubble.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why everyone should do ESC, because you've both lived the same experience and still think about it so differently and so able to discuss it. That was just beautiful to watch.
Okay.
Let's talk about something else now. So, why should people volunteer with Asociația AUM? Let's say that right now we have a listener who found us somehow, found the project. They're still thinking, oh, should I come? Oh, how's it gonna be? Why should they say yes?
Because it's amazing.
I can agree.
Because why Asociația AUM? In here, people...
Or why not?
I think it's an environment where people care for you, but not about what you do. Like, they don't care what you're doing, but they care about you. So they will never judge you, not even like work-wise or personally-wise. Like, as long as you're doing your thing, we are here, I'm here for you, I'm here to support you, but I won't judge you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Oh.
What advice do you have for future volunteers?
Just come with an open mind and an open heart, but come to work on you, on the job, on everything.
And by that you mean don't think that you're coming here just to party.
Yeah, definitely.
And to be mindless and to...
No. And I mean, I love to party, and it's important, and it's part of the experience, and you should party a lot, but you should also work a lot. And the open mind and the open heart, it's because if we realize every person around you, it's going to be completely different from every person you've ever met. Because you've spent your life in this place with your family, with your friends, in the same culture, in the same town. And it's not like that here. Like, you will live with people that have completely different mindsets from you. That does not mean that they are better or worse. They're not even, like, it's the same. We're all the same. But you need to be open to the other person just being different.
And accept that.
Yeah. And have fun. And drink with them.
Tea. Okay.
What did you take with you from this experience?
I'm taking home a completely different person, but still the same. Like, I still have my strong mind, but how much I grew here, it's unbelievable. And I'm taking home a little piece of every person that I've met here. Yeah.
Oh, so nice. I mean, if you said that you're going a completely different person from here, that means that you learn a lot of things. Because I think, like, changing is the proof of learning things, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. Cheers to that.
With tea. Okay.
Maybe we should have asked you this in the beginning, but how does it feel to be back in Sighișoara?
It's just so weirdly normal. I arrived.
Like you never left?
Yeah, I arrived and I was home, you know? I don't know, it's just feels normal.
You know that William said the same thing when I talked with him, like, in the beginning of the project. I asked him, like, how is for you to be back here? And he said the same, like, super normal.
Yeah, I mean, once you've been home, it's always home. Doesn't matter for how long you've been away.
Okay, and one last question. What does the future look like for Malu? Big question.
That is a problem for future Malu, you know? I have no clue.
You can talk about the future, like, the next 5 minutes.
I mean, after this, I'm going for a cigarette and then language. So
we are going.
I don't know, the future.
Are you considering volunteering again, or like keeping volunteering in your life to some extent?
Yeah, keep on the volunteering for sure. Like, as in a daily basis, it's something that I really like to commit to. If we're talking ESC specifically, maybe in my breaks from university. Some youth exchange that I've never been in, but I've heard it's really nice. So maybe a youth exchange soon.
Good.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Do you have some countries in your mind? Some dreams?
Some other countries you never heard about?
I think Greece is definitely my to-go. I need to.
Yes.
I've never been there, but I met some nice guys from there.
Me too. I think that's why I want to go there.
Okay, thank you so much for all of your answers, Malu. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for accepting our invitation to this interview.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, dear listeners. You can find us on social media at Asociația AUM. check out everything else on our channel and have fun. See you soon.
Pa, pa!
La revedere!